Well, now that we're in the Premier League, I guess we best get to rebuilding the squad. And welcome to episode 29 of Unemployed to Unstoppable. After securing promotion to the Premier League, it's very much the time to review the squad, ship out the old, get in some new, and see if we can keep ourselves in the division. A quick glimpse of the task we're dealing with will show you that from the season preview prediction, we are at 2,000 to 1 to stay in the Premier League, which really isn't given as much of a chance at all. When we look through the squad, which I've evaluated a couple players along the way, I've actually accelerated us through to the 1st of July, so the players have left whose contracts have expired, and that means this is the squad we're currently sat with as of today. And when we look through it, we analyse and we look at the current ability potential. Now, they're not the be-all and end-all. The player stats come a large part into it for playing particular roles. However, what I would say is from the initial view of the squad that we've got and the positions, I would very much say the priority is one, sell Brad Young, because he's not got the ability or the potential really to be in the squad. Two, we probably need to move on Alexander Karavayev. Again, at 34, he's got no room to grow, so really we need to ship him out, reduce the wage budget and get some younger blood in there. And three, Pizzi. Again, the worst of the three of them. Need to ship him on, move him on. His time has been done. He's been a great servant to the club, but on £38,000 a week, a player who's 36 years old and never going to get anywhere near the first team, we've really got to get him shipped out to release some room in the transfer budget. In terms of some initial transfers I've done on an opportune basis while we've been clicking through, Manuel Moreno come in at centre half, already valued at 18.5 to 26 million. A very good bit of business. I picked him up fairly cheap, so 9 million. I say fairly cheap, 9 million is a lot, but his transfer value's already exceeded that. And when you look at his potential, he's looking like a great player, great catch for the club, very much a first place centre half. Vasil Sarmasin's come back from loan, again, Romanian international. He'll be a rotational player in that centre defence. So we've got four really strong central defenders in Shipley, Sarmasin, Moreno, and Morbidelli. So we're looking pretty good in that area. Vituli can also fill in there, as can, when I find him, Marvin Watiao, who's a very flexible player. So, yeah, not looking bad. Other signings we just managed to get in is Brian Gill, who we got in for a free transfer. So very much, I think he was a free transfer. Let me just check for you. Yeah, so free. So very much an opportune player to come in at that left wing position ahead of Hamilton. And again, we've already essentially made a profit on him, 17.5 to 24 million. So even if we did let him go to a higher stature club, we've made a profit on him. So that's what we're looking to do in the coming years, is take players in on cheap and develop them and move them on. I did think, the final player we brought in is Charlie Webster in centre midfield. We got him from Chelsea. Again, he came through on a fairly low price because they were looking to get rid of him. So 1.9 million. And I think you can probably agree that he slots in pretty well into our midfield. In terms of the squad depth then, I've filtered out the players who I don't think would play in particular roles. So that's what we're currently looking at. And straight away you can see that we need another striker. De Gregorio's come back from Bristol Rovers. He's got a lot of potential, but I'm not sure he's quite ready to step into the Premier League. The attacking midfield centre role, we might drop that back into a flat 3, depending on how the initial games go in the Premier League. But if we can find someone in that position, we may stick with that formation. We've got some depth left and right, so not really an area we're looking at. As I've said, centre-backs, pretty clear cut and dry. And we really need a substitute or development goalkeeper to sit behind Mamadov, who is very quickly become one of my favourites of the squad, and I think he went a large part to getting us where we are today. So that's the kind of priority list for it, is get rid of the old players, goalkeeper, striker, maybe one more midfielder, and after that it's just picking up developmental players, anyone who's got some potential that we can get on the cheap and maybe look for next season. So that's the aim. I'll click through, I'll get a whole load of trialists in, and we'll see if we can achieve our goals. So stay tuned and I'll give you an update shortly. And welcome back. So majority transfer window is done. As you can see, we've brought in a wide number of players. So Charlie Webster from Chelsea, we previously discussed. Midfield. Brian Gill is strength on the left-hand wing and attack. We brought in Frank Althus. He's an Austrian midfielder, just to bolster that kind of central midfield role. He's got a lot of potential. He's probably going to slot in quite nicely in that midfield three, and he's got a lot of growth in him. Then we got Matthias Damien Gobig, who we picked up for free. He's worth 24 million. Again, on that left wing, attacking midfielder. We brought in Diego Henrique, Brazilian winger on the right-hand side. He's purely in on a high potential basis. We've loaned him out straight away, and we'll probably keep it that way for the time being. Anvar Medeliev, we've utilised the loan system, as is highly recommended by a number of other players, to bolster that strength up front. We've only got Padilla, Dan Medeliev, because we've let, we'll get to the players we've let go out on loan afterwards. Then we've got Marco Fazzini, another left wing back. We brought him in because we've got obviously Galvez is our first choice left back, but with Bagan wanting to get away, we've kind of brought Fazzini in as a backup to the backup. He's high potential. He's probably better than Bagan, but he's certainly got a lot more potential. Gasparini, goalkeeper, we brought in on loan from Southampton. Again, we need to have a backup keeper of some sorts. I didn't want to put in any direct competition to upset Memedov because he's still got some growth potential left in him. And then finally, Bruno Iglesias. No relation to Enrique Iglesias. He's come from Real Madrid. It's a kind of attacking midfield role, and he's very much going to be our first choice into the attacking midfielders. In terms of outgoings, mostly players going out on loan. A lot of the high potential youth players and ones we want off that kind of annual wage budget is gone. Jedlicka, who I'd wanted to keep, he kicked up a stink and he went. It was basically, let me go or I'm going to drag your morale down in the entire club. So he's gone. So what that does in terms of our squad then is there's our 25-man squad. The only unfamiliar name that maybe sat within all of that, if I can find him, because he's hiding it, is that Bright Guyan. So he's a player from our youth development squad. He's not as high potential as some of the other players that are there, but the reason we've brought him in is because he can play in a huge range of positions on the field. So he's there purely as a filler in that 25-man squad who we can flex into a number of different spots. Squad depth-wise then, you can see straight away that midfield and attacking roles are all looking pretty swish. It's a huge amount of depth. A lot of them can interchange. Up front, we've only got Padilla and Medaliev. No, that's because I've took Rashika out of there because I wouldn't traditionally play him there. However, if something happens to our first two strikers, Rashika can play up there up top. Into the back four then, again, we've got a little bit of strength. It's more Bagan, Galvez, Fazzini. Shipley can play there, but he's probably going to play centre-half along the side, Omo Bamidele. Then we've got Moreno, Watio and Sarmason. Watio will probably be our first choice right back. Ballimumba playing second fiddle, and then obviously Mamadov up front. So it's not looking bad. The assistant reports aren't great. Not very many strengths in terms of us in the Premier League. Huge amount of weaknesses, which we'll have to address over the coming seasons. In terms of the press preview, we've gone from 2,000 to 1 to 1,000 to 1. So we reined in a little bit. We really just need to catch these kind of bottom clubs and avoid relegation and look to build again next season. So it's not the worst thing that's ever happened, but again, I don't think we'll be pulling up any trees in our promotion push or European football. With all that being said, it's going to be straight into fixtures. The schedule's not looking too bad. We've got a reasonably good opening fixture against Sheffield United, which I will click through to, and we will finish the episode with our first game in the Premier League. So the journey's been great. Let's see if we can kick it off with a positive footstep. And here we go, the day we've all been waiting for. Opening game of the Premier League, Norwich versus Sheffield United. Starting lineup for the opening match is Mamadov in goals, no surprise there. Back four of Fazzini, Shipley, Moreno and Mumba. It's good to get on with Bamidele out there because I can't say his name right. Midfield three of Webster, Althaus and Iglesias, and then a front three of Go Big, Padilla or Rashika. There's a little bit of fitness concern over Rashika, but we've got plenty substitutes to see us through. Few debuts in today's match. Hopefully they can kick us off with something special. But again, we won't be too disappointed as we have to refine the tactics and tweak it slightly as we get into the season. All that being said, we'll get out there and we'll kick off. Other points to note that I probably didn't update you on, some of you may have spotted, is we have actually taken on the Italian manager's job at the same time. So I won't be showing them games unless anyone shows any interest in the comment section, but it's just something that'll go on in the background. This game going by quite quickly, 20 minutes gone, not a lot in terms of chances. We have switched back to a balanced play, and we'll just keep an eye on how things go in this opening section. I would expect us to get a few more chances than we have had so far, especially with playing a kind of a 4 up top. But until some of the new players gel, we may not get too much. As Lerma leaps in on Moreno there, looks like it might be a red card. And yes, it is. It did look a bit of a dubious tackle. So a man advantage for the next hour. We really need to up the positivity, try and wear them down, pull them out of position. See if we can work out some opportunities as Mumba plays to Iglesias. Oh, that would have been a great finish on his debut. Just coming up to half time. Not a shot on target yet, but showing some signs of promise. See if we can press home that 10-man advantage. Here we go. Team talk done. Rashika Iglesias not playing particularly well at the minute. Neither is Padilla, but Rashika with a corner in it goes. Moreno with a header on his debut. Slams it into the back of the net. Goal on his debut. Absolutely fantastic. And it's the start we've been dreaming of. Hopefully we can get 3 points on the board to set us up. Fazzini with a throw down the left-hand side. Go big to Fazzini. And it goes again. And a header from Padilla. Fantastic. 2 goals in 5 minutes. Puts us well and truly in the driving seat. And that red card early on has given us a huge boost to this opening game of the season. And what we need to do from this is try and take as much positivity from the morale side of things into the next games. As we get to the 65th minute, Mumba down the right-hand side. Can he beat his man? In he goes. Cross comes in. Blocked. Sheffield United get the ball away, but they beat the back four. Kadewere. And he's absolutely slammed that home. I don't know what our back four were doing there. One ball over the top, split us apart. And that's given Sheffield United an inroad back into the game, which we really could have done without giving them 20 minutes to go then. Look at maybe making some changes. So we get a free kick. We'll just wait to see how this develops. Go big. Oh, and it's great near the top corner, but not quite good enough to score a goal. Iglesias looking a little bit tired, so we'll get Gill on for a run out to make his debut. Go big. Give Hamilton a run out. And Shipley as well will drop out from Bamidele. And see if we can see out these final 15 minutes. As Rashika puts the ball across, but the whistle's gone. 13 minutes to go then. Still a couple of tired players on there. It's still early doors. In terms of friendlies, we played about 5. We did a tour of Switzerland and then went to Spain. 1-5. Not by any big margins, but the best we could. As Hamilton breaks forward, plays the ball into Rashika, and he slams that home to make it 3-1, and that should be the result. Putting no doubt whatsoever. So it's looking like we made a fantastic start. Again, let me know in the comment section what you think of the transfer window. Certainly the front four seem to have gelled together quite quickly. I think we have strengthened the back four. Still a bit of a question mark at that right back position, but so far so good. As Brian plays the ball into Rashika and he hits the post. And if we could have made it 4-1, that would have been the icing on the cake. Ball into Padilla. Hamilton gets a chance to break and he bends one round, but it's just over the bar. Seconds to go until the whistle goes. Into Rashika again, and we're starting to really create some chances now. Althaus to Mumba. And there goes the final whistle. So 3-1 at home to Sheffield United. Probably one of the games we really need to win in terms of the clubs in and around us. But the performances and the morale that comes from that will be what sees us through. And hopefully we can go on from this and stay in the Premier League. So big boost. We'll have a quick glance at the table just to show Norwich not in the relegation. So there we go, end the season now, 3rd place after 1 game. Absolutely marvellous. I will just have a quick look at the schedule. I'll play through a few games. Probably like I normally do, 38 games in a season, so we'll go for about 9 or 10. And then we'll bring you back for an update about quarter of the way through the season. So once again, thanks for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. The new camera, I need to mess about with the brightness to get it all sorted out. I've tried to mess about with the graphics to make it run a little bit smoother. But again, any comments in the comment section to help us improve would be fantastic. So see you next time. Take care.